Hey gang, it's Mr. Pratt here with your May 11th to 17th weekly agenda. Just wanted to kind of wrap up what we did or recap from last week. You had a few activities for me to complete, and that included coming up with a project that required you to use the CNC for it completely. So the plywood project, which I thought was kind of interesting, kind of a different take to the whole idea of using CNC equipment. We technically really only ever used it to create maybe a part, but never a whole project. So I thoroughly enjoyed reading some of your project critiques in ShopBot and seeing your ideas posted and how you utilized PartWorks and AutoCAD to create those the files necessary to create those projects. So great job last week. To kind of get you started for this week, we have an ed puzzle. Our weekly ed puzzle, which is how to use the ShopBot. And I know you've had multiple times to experience the CNC machines. However, we haven't had an opportunity to utilize CNC machines to their fullest. So we're going to do a little bit more this week in learning how CNC machines could be used. But to get you started, you're going to watch the ed puzzle, answer some questions, and then submit that. The first part then of getting into the real meat and potatoes for the week will be filling in some note sheets. So this note sheet is actually two parts. The first part is just learning how to utilize the Aspire software, which is on your laptop that you were provided from my classroom. So you're going to need to take some time, whether it's beginning of the week or midweek, because you want to make sure you have enough time to do this. But go ahead and log into the Aspire software. The login information to log into Aspire, it will be found on the bottom left hand side of your keyboard. There's a sticker, just like when we logged into PartWorks for the first time. There's a sticker on the left side. It'll have your username and license number to log into that. And just make sure that you take some time to do that first. So the Aspire notes, like I said, are two parts. The first part is a note sheet. More or less, it's going to have you kind of follow along. There's some fill in the blank areas. There's no actual video or tutorial that goes with it. It's just a note sheet. And so you're going to have Aspire open and the note sheet at the same time and kind of work through the steps to start to begin to create what's known as our 3D image, so setting up your file. And so I have an example here of a final 3D product. This is a dragon that was created using our ShopBot CNCs. And so you're going to be doing something very similar. You'll pick a Google image. It can be just about anything. I've had some very interesting 3D images. One that will not work is a person's face. It does not work right. So don't try that at home. But that'll be the first activity or first part of the note sheet, just filling that in, submitting that. And then you're going to go ahead and submit your screenshot of what your actual progress has been to that point. So at the end of the note sheet, where are you at? So you wouldn't have any toolpaths yet, but you would have a 3D image in the works. After submitting the screenshot for the first part of your Aspire activity for the week, you're going to go ahead and complete the second part of the activity or of the note sheet, which will be a Word document that you'll fill in and a video that I have provided that goes along with that. And then so you'll fill that in, submit it, and then you'll be able to use the note sheet to create the final product of your Aspire file for the week. So this is just to kind of get you in the mindset of how Aspire works. You'll notice that you're going to have to create two different toolpaths for Aspire. So we actually do what's called a roughing toolpath. And so you can see my dragon here in the first part. And so it's not, you can start to see the outline of what a dragon might look like there. But it doesn't have the detail that you saw in the previous one. So this is called our roughing toolpath. And then what's going to happen then is we'll create what's called a finishing toolpath. And that's where we get all our detail. So these are files that take almost a day or two to complete. So typically when we were in class, you would have taken 2 days to complete one project. And this dragging here took about 16 hours to complete. So it's not something that we finish in a matter of a class period. But the file itself is not something that's difficult to do. So you're going to spend some time this week learning about Aspire and how you can utilize it, and to kind of give you an idea to where we're headed. We're going to be using Aspire next week as well to create something a little bit different. I'm going to give you a design challenge. So I have provided some additional Aspire resources in a folder. Take a look at those if you'd like. There are video resources that I think would be helpful, more or less about creating your own shapes, your own 3D shapes in Aspire. You're going to see a very close similarity between Aspire and when we use Partworks. It's just a matter of an additional tab that we've added to the Aspire software. So that'll be this week's activities: Edpuzzle, note sheets, and then actually creating your Aspire file, your document. Don't forget to create the screenshots or submit your screenshots of your work so I can see the end product. Your screenshots may look very similar from the first note sheet to the second. However, in the second note sheet, make sure you show me the screenshot of your toolpaths as well. So I should see those two toolpaths in your toolpath menu. If you have any questions, I'm available on Schoology Message or Zoom office hours, which would be on Thursday in the morning. So I'm always available. This is a new software, so I understand there might be some questions along the way. Feel free to reach out, though, and I'd be happy to help you. Looking forward to seeing what you guys have to post and your final products here in Aspire. I think this is always a neat opportunity to learn a new software and see how it can be implemented later on. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all online. And like I said, feel free to shoot me a message if you have any questions. See you guys.